Boom.
Yes, yo. Biddly bo. You know what time it is? Get that badger in and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. I got my steak out. I got a couple of rump steaks downstairs. They're sat out on countertop, just getting to room temperature. Nobody do it how he does it. Getting that, just letting it breathe a bit, because I've heard on the grapevine that is the way you get that certain je ne sais quoi that we're always looking for in a steak. Quick shout out to Wayne Garbutt and Damo Bennett. We're obviously against the clock, so I'll only say it one more time. Shout out to Wayne Garbutt and Damo Bennett. I am in Ilkley on Sunday with Beckford and Becchio. If anybody wants tickets, let me know. It's called Courtyard, where we're off the boom stairs. I tweeted the guy. He watched the video, and then his rebuttal to it was he tried to suggest that he's a watcher of the channel, so I'm not actually having a go at him. I find this funny. I'm up for this. But he has said that I rallied the crowd in order to say that the boom stays. So I can't win for losing at this point. Want to talk very quick shit vid. Single out on 13th September. Link below. Let me know. Go check my tunes out. It's much appreciated. It's a dry time in September. We know this. The video didn't do as well yesterday due to the fact that, you know, everybody's having a bit of downtime, which I appreciate. So we're just doing talking points at this moment in time, boys. Aaronson, apparently he's going to be pushing it for Burnley. So obviously we are in the international break and he's gone away with USA. So they're talking when he gets back off the flight. I don't know whether it's the day before. I presume it's the day before. But there's quite a late kickoff and then he's got to get back. So he won't get back till like mid-morning. But obviously the game is half-12 kickoff in it against Burnley when we get back, which I'm properly looking forward to get the goals back in, get going again. It's a big game against Burnley as well, isn't it, to be fair, which is pretty mint game. So obviously he'll be jet lagged or whatever, but I don't know really with how they travel. There's also talk that he might sort of like, you know, cut it short and come home early or not play that game and leave straight away or whatever, you know. I think he's playing either tonight or tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not following particularly intensely the USA football team. So it obviously begs the question who comes in. We spoke about this briefly, but I honestly think the only way to go if Aaronson isn't playing in the 10 role is to go with Nonto in the 10. So you'd have Solomon out wide left, Nonto 10, and then Dan James on the right, which obviously everybody's going to flip the lid and say that Ramazzini has to come straight in. But Ramazzini doesn't have to come straight in. Ramazzini has to prove his worth a little bit. We can't get ahead of ourselves. Same with Gruev and Tanaka. If they end up being the boy, they end up being the boy. But even Rafinha under the God Bielsa had to wait a few weeks. Then when he came on that week, he was just like, oh no, he's the business! Because he certainly was the business. So yeah, Nonto in that number 10 role, I think he'd be mint. He already drifts into that role anyway. I prefer that over Peru, Parral, Parisley, and then you can bring Peru, Parral, Parisley on. Paul Robinson's been talking about Aaronson and he's not convinced of him at all in the 10 role. He says he's not his favourite player, which I hate it when people say that. People used to say, oh, do you like these shoes, whatever, and then they go, well, they're not my favourite. So what do you mean they're not your favourite? Does it have to be your favourite in order for me to wear a pair of trainers, or do I have to be your favourite player in order to warrant my position in this side? Why you can't have 11 favourites. They can't all be your favourite. Like, oh yeah, he's my favourite left back. He's my favourite centre back. He's my second favourite centre back. He's my favourite right back. It's like it's just unrealistic demands, isn't it, Paul? So he says he said that he's sometimes like a fly in a bottle. A wasp in a bottle, which I don't actually think in the grand scheme of things is a bad analysis of how he plays, because he is a bit like, you know, a bit erratic and a bit buzzy, and he buzzes about. But that kind of is the 10 role as well, isn't it? In all fairness, you do want that as a number 10. He is busy, and to be fair to him, he works hard. I don't know how much the defensive work he does actually gets us anywhere. I know he breaks, in terms of the press, he's good because he's quite active and he's quite. But when he's tracking back, he never seems to win the ball. It's always like it's just like pointless running. But you can't argue that he works hard, and he is definitely a. To be honest, to make a career, because it's kind of shit or bust for a minute at this point. He does need to get something going on. But what do we think to Paul Robinson? Obviously, he's a bit of a folk hero. Well, I don't know about a hero, but a bit of a folk. What would be the word? A bit of a. Is he a hero or a villain? I don't know. But that was obviously a bit of a mental time. But, you know, I've got relatively fond memories of Robinson, to be fair. I know he took over from Nigel Martin, who's the absolute man. But, you know, Paul Robinson had a up and down career, to say the least. And if he wasn't scoring goals from his own goal kicks or from just from edge at box with that pumping strike he had, because he did have a... I actually remember Paul Robinson being like, you know, before goalkeepers were really good on ball. Now, Paul Robinson might not have been good on ball, because back then, you know, even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you never played... The keeper wasn't asked to do as much as he is to do now. But Paul Robinson had a ping on him, didn't he? I remember he was the first one to sort of like start slicing through it, you know, like on volley, rather than like keepers sort of kicking it, dropping it and kicking it. I'm not on about a drop kick. I'm not on about letting it bounce. I'm on about kicking it out of their hands. But he started, his foot was like getting higher and higher, slicing through it. It was a treasure to behold, and he can ping that ball right and left foot, to be fair to him. Whether or not he could deal with it with a pass back, you know, probably not. He'd probably, you know, he'd have a nosebleed and it'd bobble over him or whatever, Rob Green style. But yeah, he had some clangers as well, didn't he? But also scored some headers. I think he scored an header for us, didn't he, Paul Robinson? But I don't mind Paul Robinson as a pundit, to be fair. He's a big, soft, big idiot, isn't he? So, yeah, what do we think to that? It looks like Leicester are going to get off with the points deduction that everybody thought they were going to get. You're probably better off going over to Just Joe's show to watch the actual breakdown of what the deal is with that. Typical, really. I think, you know, with them going down, with them going back up or whatever, I don't know the ins and outs. PSR, I don't really give a shit about it, or financial fair play and all what's what. It's just frustrating when obviously some teams have got to. But if I don't know if they're guilty of it or not. I can't be asked looking it up. So as I say, go over to Just Joe's show, and he's put a video up today, which will be, I've no doubt, very informative. I'm not 100% certain on this either. This could be a load of nonsense, but there's talks that Red Bull have not invested necessarily, but got a sponsorship deal with Newcastle, and they're looking to be their brand of energy drink. And everybody's sort of like pissing and moaning about it a little bit. I mean, everybody's also talking that we might become Red Bull Leeds, which, you know, to be honest, I ain't ruling out long term. I initially didn't think that, but, you know, what else are they here for, really? They do. Red Bull want to take over, don't they, in general? You know, it's got some money, haven't they, Red Bull? They throw money around like there's no tomorrow in all, like sports, like rally sports and BMX and stuff, and you just think, I don't know how much money are in these sports. I know they're just probably just washing a load of money out, aren't they? Just getting rid of it all, and it is a huge brand. I think, to be fair, 10 years ago when they were sponsoring all surfing and stuff, and I thought, and diving competitions and stuff, I thought, well, what, you know, where they're getting this money? I thought it was like a drug lord or something. But no, I think, you know, to be fair, Red Bull is widely drunk, isn't it? That's whether or not that is the case. I think that they'll probably want to be the energy drink everywhere, won't they? Rockstar making some pretty big moves. They sponsored Leeds Fest and stuff. So, you know, energy drinks have always been, even your Lucasades and that. Lucasade used to sponsor Premier League and stuff, didn't they? So I think Red Bull are just looking to take over that scene. I don't necessarily think, because they're not necessarily, I know they are investors to some extent with us, but they're looking, it's a sponsorship deal on the shirt, isn't it, currently? So we'll see where that ends up. So there's nuance to that. Bring that word back, nuance, bit of nuance. Cooper, I don't know what's going on with him. So there was some talk yesterday that he might be signing another deal with us because the whole deal had fallen through, and then, you know, a lot of people saying that he'd be good around the club. I do think the club are looking after him a little bit. I genuinely do. I think he can just go off and do whatever he wants. But there's some talk that he's looking into CSKA Bulgaria. It's in Bulgaria, CSKA Sofia. So I don't know whether that's a dictionary corner moment or not. But yeah, whatever he does, I wish him obviously all the best of luck. I would like him to stay in England, to be fair, Championship, just so that I can monitor him, really, see how he gets on. Because I've got a lot of time for my man Coops, especially when I get told that I look like him. How many goals for Joseph this year is a good return? Open question. I'm interested to know what you all think in terms of goals. If you're still here, check us out. Leave us a like, subscribe, whatever you've got to do. Track out on the 13th September, Ilkley on Sunday, Guiseley on Friday, Guiseley on Saturday. Let me know if you're about. Let's meet for a beer. For me, if Joseph gets 12 goals, good return.
Boom.
JackCity, bitch. JackCity, bitch.
I don't wanna play no games, no, I don't wanna
promises. You do you and I'll do me, that's just the way it is.